And we are live. What's good, Shasha Man Dale Saint? Welcome. Downrange Podcast. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? Hope y'all are well. Just checking. Audio looks good. Hope you guys are well. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, right? Thursday the 13th. Ooh, it was almost Friday today. Thursday the 13th, man. So yes, I'm still doing Downrange Podcast. I'm still in the transition, guys. Appreciate you guys going over and supporting and subscribing over there on Downrange. I do appreciate that. I just, this has been a learning experience for me, just with but working with YouTube. I like YouTube. I ain't gonna get you right. Hey man, I ain't gonna trip. I like this platform. I like it. You probably won't see me on Rumble. You will at some point see me on Facebook. You will at some point see me on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks to StreamYard, I'll be able to stream on all those platforms at the same time. I'm slowly getting into that. But I wanted to focus on this. I wanted to focus on YouTube first, get things going in the right direction, and then branch out. So I appreciate that. So we have started the other channel, and it is Downrange, which is doing well. As far as the process of moving things over, so we're gonna do the lives here. I can broadcast live now on that channel, but I don't know how to incorporate StreamYard. So I'll have to watch some more videos, do some more research, maybe send out some emails to figure out how to do that. But I will do it. I know that Fresh and Fit does it. I just don't know how. Right? So I just have to figure that out. I guess my last resort would be I can hit up Big Mo, or I can hit up Chris and ask them like, hey man, how are you guys doing it? And I'm sure he'll give me the sauce or whatever. He'll help me out. But it is what it is. And what am I doing here? Oh yeah, let me go over and let me pull up Downrange and drop it in the chat. So Downrange Politics, you can type in Downrange Politics, it'll come right up, and it says Downrange Politics Podcast. But it's really just, it's just Downrange, but I put politics in there to make it easier to find Downrange Politics. And then, here we cover everything political, man. We try to, and that's what we're going to talk about now, right? We're going to get into what's going on with the Writers Guild, with SAG, and UPS. I'm wearing my NACA shirt. Yo, y'all know I'm union. There it is, NACA proud, 100%. National Air Traffic Controllers Association, 25 years, union. So I truly believe in union. Although I think organized labor might be facing some choppy waters ahead, especially when we're talking about AI and all that. But for now, it's cool. And I tell folks all the time, like, yo, y'all should definitely unionize. You should organize, especially places like any retail spot, right? Any major chain, you're looking at CVS, you're looking at Walmart, you're looking at Walgreens, you're looking at, those type places, Target. And, a lot of owners, a lot of corporations have been trying to keep unions out, obviously, because, they lose a lot of leverage. But I'm telling you, you're out there working, union's the way. And there's so many people out there who get mad at us in the union. Oh man, you guys have all these benefits. You got, this pay scale, you get time off guaranteed, overtime guaranteed, you get this and this and that and that. It's like, yeah, we negotiated it, bro. You're not going to get any of that if you guys aren't together. You're not going to get any of it. None of it. So yeah, it's food for thought. Right? Food for thought. Think about it. Are there downsides or is a bad side to union? Yeah. Unions get corrupt just like, business owners, the 1%, just like politicians. It can happen. But you got to deal with that. You find a corrupt union official, vote them out. If you find somebody, they doing whatever, if you don't like what's going on in your union shop, run for president. It's just, or run for some sort of office, vice president, president, treasurer, secretary, run for something. get the support of your, current your friends, right? Your fellow employees, your fellow union people. Get support, run, make a change. So that's the sort of thing that, that's what I tell folks. But at the end of the day, union's a great thing, man. Just to have that protection, that backstop. When management gets out of control, when ownership gets out of control, and they start doing dumb stuff, at least you have the union to sit there and protect you from their idiocy, right? I mean, it's just there. I look at the FAA all the time. If the FAA had their way, if FAA management had their way, the FAA would have crumbled decades ago. Decades ago, the people that were in charge, the people who got into management were just dumb. And the thing is, it's funny too. In the FAA, the employees are all union, and then they become management. So they came from the union. So most of their skills they acquired through the union and through educational programs and stuff like that the union sets up. Shows you how to negotiate. So you learn everything from the union side, and then you become management. And now you got to fight the union. So I've seen some really sharp union guys go on to be management and become shining stars within management and the asset to the agency. I've seen that, but I've seen the exact opposite happen too, where you have these just, bottom barrel dudes and women who were just stupid controllers, horrible controllers, and just, suck ups, get into management, and they just do all kind of horrible stuff. And, the FAA spends most of their time correcting the problems that these employees create for them. The union be happy to see them go. Like, yeah, take this knucklehead. And now that's the management's problem. And the union just crushes them every time they do something stupid. And the FAA is constantly moving them around from position to position, from job to job, from temporary duty to temporary duty, trying to keep them out of trouble. Until finally that person realizes they're just dumb. They resign as a manager, and go back to the union, just do their job, keep their head down away for the end of their career. I've seen that. I've seen it. Like, it is what it is. So let's get into this story. I'm talking all this union stuff. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Hollywood actors are poised to strike. So that's the Screen Actors Guild, SAG and AFTRA, are poised to strike. And that's big because the Writers Guild of America is already on strike. They're already out there striking. So here it is right here. This is Reuters. Hollywood actors poised to strike join writers on picket lines. So, and this came out about maybe 45 minutes ago. Los Angeles, July 13th. The union representing U.S. film and television actors was expected to authorize a strike on Thursday after talks with Hollywood studios broke down, setting the stage for performers to join writers on picket lines and disrupt scores of shows and movies. So, this is pretty big. Hollywood doesn't like to strike. They don't do this often, especially both, both major unions, SAG and AFTRA have joined. They used to be separate unions, and now you have the Writers Guild of America. So there used to be 3 unions. Now it's just down to 2. But the majors, Hollywood is always shut down now. If they strike, which they will, the actors will walk, everything is shut down. Right? Negotiators for SAG-AFTRA unions recommended the strike early on Thursday, and its national board was due to take a final vote later in the day. If approved, Hollywood studios would face their first dual work stoppage in 63 years, hobbling productions across the United States and abroad. Right. So that's crazy. That means nothing is about to move, y'all. This is about to be just shut down, which, we'll get into the ramifications of that later. Brother Nights is in the house. What's good, fam? How you feeling, man? Hope you are well. Good to see you. So yeah, and a lot of films in that these days are filmed overseas. Canada was a big place for movies. New Zealand. There's a lot going on in Europe. This union is far and wide. So both SAG-AFTRA, Hollywood's largest union representing 160,000 film and television actors, and the Writers Guild of America were demanding increases in base pay and residuals in the streaming TV era, plus assurances that their work will not be replaced by artificial intelligence. That's a big one right there. Fran Drescher, former star of the Nanny TV show and the president of SAG-AFTRA, calls studios' responses to actors' concerns insulting and disrespectful. I mean, that's just normal rhetoric between union and management and owners. You're going to get that kind of talk. It is what it is. But, AI, that's a big sticking point. And what the unions are trying to do is they're trying to protect themselves and get themselves a good buffer against AI. And, they definitely have a concern. And, it is what it is. I feel they're concerned. I think that's a war they're going to lose, but you can win a few battles in the short term. And you look at what, like with Hollywood, right? So I look at Hollywood, I look at the stories they're putting out, I look at the movies, I look at the TV shows, I look at all that stuff. And the content is just garbage these days. The stories are just horrible. They're trying to infuse way too much political opinion and cultural opinion and bias and all that. They're not just telling stories. They're trying to infuse these stories with ideals and principles, right? They're trying to force a certain way of thinking on the masses right now. People will argue, well, isn't that what good storytelling does? It teaches you how, good triumphs over evil. It teaches you to be a good guy versus a scumbag. It teaches you to be a hard worker versus a bum. Yes, I get that. But Hollywood today they're terrible storytellers. And I think the reason they worry so much about artificial intelligence is because ChatGPT or whatever can write a better story than these actors today. These writers today. And it's not that there are no talent out there. There's plenty of talented writers out there, plenty. But Hollywood ain't working with them. Hollywood's working with the cronies. Hollywood is working with it's like the nepotism and whatever. They're doing their Hollywood thing. And people are walking away. So here you have this strike. You're striking. You got the writers have walked. You have the actors are about to walk. You want to, you got to fight the good fight against artificial intelligence. You probably know in the back of your mind you're going to lose eventually, but let's hold on as long as we can. Let's win these battles. You need the support of the people. Like, you need the support of just regular folks, just plain Jane folks. You need that support. Without that support, you're not going anywhere. And right now, I believe Hollywood's at a place where they just don't really have the support of the average everyday person. Right? Just the run of the mill American or Englishman or German or whatever. They just don't have it. Going into this strike, people don't care. Like, y'all writing garbage anyway. Maybe we need to have AI write some of these stories because I'm tired of seeing these horrible stories that you guys are writing. That's a problem. I don't know if that's more PR based or not, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Like, this is gonna be. I'm union, so I want to support their strike regardless. And it's gonna be very easy for me not to consume any content because, again, like I've already gotten rid of Disney Plus. That was just garbage. It had so much potential and it just fell off. Right. So I was like, I already got rid of that. I got rid of so many streaming services. What do I have? It's probably easier for me to tell you what I have. I have Netflix. I have Amazon Plus. And that's it. That's it. Oh, well, as far as streamers go, yep, I do subscribe to F1. I'm a F1 fan. So I subscribe to their streaming service so I can watch the races when I want to watch the races, not when the races are, live or whatever. So I have that. But I don't think that really counts, right? That's more of a sports thing. But that's it. That's all I'm subscribing to. So it'll be real easy for me not to watch or consume anything. That's what it is. The great news is for content creators, YouTubers out there, here's your time to shine, right? Here is your time to shine. There are some content creators out there who have studio quality equipment and they're just putting out stuff. I'm pretty sure there are people out there who've been waiting to maybe do some shorts or maybe come up with their own series, their own little, their own YouTube series on their channel. this will be the time to drop it. Hint, hint, y'all. This will be a time to drop it. Now, the more complex you get, the tougher it can be. I mean, I'm a creative, so I know of some different ways. Like, well, I know how I can do it. I've been thinking about it. Right now I'm currently working on a mini documentary about stand-up comedy. And yes, I can do it. No thrills, kind of, get what I need done. But to actually script out and, do a whole season, episode by episode of, I don't know, like your own little, romantic comedy or situation comedy or drama or dramedy, it's going to be hard, man. I mean, I would imagine if I were to try it, I probably would do a telenovela style series. I would probably do that. Just we're just going to do a short, maybe 6 episode series, telenovela style, right? And for those who don't know, it's kind of like soap operas mixed with gangsterism shoved into a TV show. Because you don't have to have the absolute best quality. You don't necessarily need studios. It can be done. You can do it with wherever you're living. You can do a couple scenes in the park. You can do some scenes in the car. You can do some scenes, of course, in the bedroom or living room, kitchen. It can be done. You would need a team to do it. I mean, that's something that'd be really hard to do on your own. Not impossible, just time consuming. So, but you're gonna need a cast of at least 4 or 5 people. You got to establish these characters. You got to establish story arcs. Just a whole bunch of stuff you got to do. You're definitely gonna need a writer. You're gonna need some fairly experienced actors, and you're gonna need some camera people. You're gonna need some crew. So yeah, it can be done, but man, it'll definitely take some work. The payoff, though, is if you had that stuff already in the mix, if you were already like in quote unquote post-production, you were the editing process, now's the time to step that up, get the edit done, and then boom, drop it, because Hollywood's not going to be doing anything. And this strike might drag on for a little while. It might. So like you said, I'm union and I like to, so I'm going to support. Like I said, it's easy for me not to watch the stuff that they put out because most of it is trash. There's a couple good things on Netflix, and every now and then there's some good documentaries or some obscure stuff that I'll see on Amazon Prime. And some of their original stuff is okay, but there's nothing out there right now that I have to watch. Like, oh, I gotta watch this. Nothing. There's nothing out there. But the article continues: the companies have refused to meaningfully engage on some topics and on some other completely. On some topics and on others completely stonewalled us, she said. And this is Fran Drescher in a statement for a deadline for actors to agree on a new contract expired at midnight on Wednesday. Until they do negotiate in good faith, we cannot begin to reach a deal. The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, the trade association that negotiates on behalf of Netflix, Walt Disney, and other production companies, said it was deeply disappointed that SAG-AFTRA has decided to walk away from negotiations. What little I know about negotiations, I mean, I haven't worked at the national levels and stuff like that. I've been a part of negotiations at local levels when I was an air traffic controller, doing stuff in the union and with other, and with other subgroups. Because there's an organization within the FAA called it's called the coalition is what people call it, and it's basically coalition of African Americans within the agency, and then it kind of reach out. Anyone could join. It reaches out, but the coalition is like the black groups, like the FA's version of the NAACP, right? So. And I can't remember the acronym off the top of my head, and I don't want to say it wrong because they'll come hunting for me. So we'll keep with the coalition. But I've done some stuff with the coalition, negotiating different things and working on different things within the agency. But again, that was like low level, never at a national level. But when I hear stuff, like when people walk away from the table, there's an impasse or something like that, normally that's a strategy. One side or the other knew going in that they were going to walk away from the table. They knew we're gonna drop down these, these demands. We know they're not gonna reach these demands, and we're gonna walk out of here. right? They understand the ground rules of the meeting. They're like, as soon as we get to the point where we can just say, hey, impasse and walk away, that's what we're going to do. I watched the FAA do that under Bush. I mean, it was what it was. Then Obama came in and the FAA was forced to go back to the table and negotiate. And basically, NACA was able, our union was able to get what we wanted. That was crazy. I remember talking to my father about it, and he was like, no, politics has nothing to do with union and management relations. I'm like, yeah, well, it does in the FAA. It has everything to do with it. If the White House is willing to back management, then they'll go in and stonewall. Nothing you can do about it. And if the White House is not willing to back management, if the White House tells management to go and negotiate a sweet deal or go and negotiate a deal, then that's what they're going to do. So yeah, politics does get involved when you're talking about government. And outside of that, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. So it is what it is. I tell people all the time, if you want to be unplugged and see what's really going on, understand money plays a role in everything, right? It just does. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, shout out to Wu-Tang. They ain't lying. They're not lying. They are not lying. So I tell folks all the time, like, man, don't get it twisted, man. It's about money. If you got big money behind you and they got big money behind them, it's just going to be a clash. But when you're talking about striking, you're not getting paid. So the people who are working, the workers, they're not getting paid. Like, there's money in the union. The money will pay you a little bit of money while you're on strike to kind of, tide you over, but you're not getting paid, bro. And it's the bottom line. If you used to making $200,000 a year and you're on strike, man, you ain't getting 200,000, right? It's just, you're getting a portion of it. So people have to prepare for a strike. And you start going into your savings and all that other stuff, using credit and everything because your bills are still due, right? It is what it is. So most banks don't care that you're on strike. Credit unions may. Like, your credit union may understand there's a strike and they'll give you some help, but it's going to cost you a little bit. They'll let you get a loan, bridge loans or whatever to help cover. It's going to cost you a little bit, but they'll do it in most cases, but the big banks won't. So yeah, that's just one of those things. So it goes on to say the group said it offered historic pay and residual increases and a groundbreaking AI proposal that protects actors' digital likeness. Actors are worried that their digital image or images will be used without their permission or proper compensation, as they should be. We already see it now, right? You see deep fakes out there, Tom Cruise, Barack Obama, you know what I mean? You name the actor, there's a deep fake out there. So if you're computer savvy, you can do your own little short and just have deep fake so-and-so there, right? You just savvy, you got deep fake whoever, and you don't have to pay them any residuals. So that's definitely worth fighting. And it's funny that it said it's talking about what they were doing for actors. I wonder what they were doing for writers with respect to AI. I wonder. But it continues, rather than continue to negotiate, SAG-AFTRA has put us on a course that will deepen the financial hardship for thousands who depend on the industry for their livelihoods. And that's a fact. That's a fact. You know what I mean? But you got to fight, man. You got to make sacrifices. You have to fight. You just can't sit idly by and let people just, roll over you. You have to fight, man. So it is what it is. They talk about economic damage. The strike by roughly 11,500 writers has sent late night television talk shows into endless reruns, disrupted most production for the fall TV season, and halted work on big budget movies. There's a lot of money involved in this, y'all. Hollywood still generates, billions and billions of dollars. There's a lot of money. A strike like this really hurts California, really hurts LA, especially at a time now where LA is already doing really bad. This thing is going to have far-reaching implications. And I wonder how long before Newsom gets involved. I wonder how long this goes before the governor of California gets involved. It's like, hey, man, we need something to happen here. I'm just curious. Pay TV, streaming at intermittent risk of Hollywood strikes. The strike has forced some broadcast networks to announce reruns and streaming services to pause U.S. production. Over 90% of consumer spending on the U.S. entertainment industry goes to pay TV and digital subscription. Patrick Bet David was talking about this. The amount of money that has been made over the past few years on streaming is like ridiculous, man. It's gone up like crazy. And they got graphs here, of how many people are paying for TV, which is the gold color, and then the purple color is digital, and you can see how digital is increasing over the years. Like, you just look at it, 2017, 18, 19, look at it just grow. 2020, for 2020, 2021 has gone even more here lately over the past couple years. So it goes on to Walk Out by SAG-AFTRA, which represents actors from bit part players in Hollywood biggest movie stars, would effectively shutter the studio's remaining U.S.-based production of film and scripted television. So yeah, your favorite TV show, whatever that is, you're not going to be able to watch it. And I don't watch anything right now. There's nothing out there that I really dig. The last thing that I kind of got into was Ozark, and I didn't even watch the final season yet. I still haven't watched that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it eventually. But I thought Ozark was really good. There are shows out there that are really good. Love, Death, and Robots is really good, animated thing. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but definitely want to check that out. There was a show, an Amazon original. I forget what it was called. It was the storyline is, you can pay, if you're wealthy enough, you can pay for a package and live in the afterlife. It's called Downloaded. That's what it is. Downloaded. I think that's the name of it. So you can download your soul, your thoughts, and everything into the cloud kind of thing, like a database, and live there. And you can still interact with the living, via texting. And, there's certain, they had technology where you can kind of like a TV screen window thing, and you can walk up and look at and interact with your loved ones. So imagine if ghosts were real and they had their own world. This is what this show was about, the interaction of the two worlds. The first season was pretty cool. Trying to get into the second season, it starts really slow. Really slow. I mean, they got to introduce new characters and new situations and, new plot threads and all that. Eventually I'll watch it. But the first season was good, and it had no one in there that you would recognize, that I recognize. There were no major stars a part of this thing. It was just a cool little out of nowhere show. I thought it was pretty good. Brother Tez is in the house, man. What's good, fam? How you feeling? Good to see you. So yeah, man, if you're watching, TV, if you're watching whatever hit shows are out there, I don't know the Suits is on Netflix now. I don't know if that's still broadcasting on TV, but I know it's on Netflix. So whatever the new hit show is, Suits was once upon a time. If you're watching that, then the production is shut down. It's all shut down. So you're not going to be able to watch anything. Be a good time to catch up on your reading, or come over here to YouTube and holler at us. You know what I mean? But this strike is going to be something big. So I'm just kind of glancing at this article. It just kind of gets into some stuff, talking about, Bob Iger and, talking about the effects on Disney, and they was talking about the pandemic. And, look, bottom line is this strike is really going to affect America, but more to the point, it's going to affect California big time. Big time. California is going to be hurting. Right? It's going to be hurting. So you got that going on, right? A lot of people like, not a big deal. So what? Hollywood's going on strike. Big deal. We don't care. We don't like them anyway. Kind of like me. They putting out trash anyway. We don't like them. We're not crazy about the movies they're making. All right. I feel you on that. But this other strike is going to affect each and every one of us in all sorts of ways. Each and every one of us. And there's no getting around it. This strike right here. UPS, right? United Postal Service. Is it United Postal Service? Is that what it's really called? UPS. Looks like they're preparing to go on strike. They've been talking about this for a while now. Looks like it's about to happen. This is something that's going to affect each and every one of us in America, and it's going to affect most people worldwide, right? UPS workers may go on strike. What it would mean for you and your packages. If I am management, sitting across the table from the union, the Teamsters, and it's UPS. I'm trying to make this strike thing go away. I'm trying to give them pretty much everything they want. Let's get in here and see what they want, because I don't know. I knew the strike was looming. But UPS would be foolish to allow this strike to occur. It's not only going to get into their pockets, but it's going to mess up businesses and all sorts of stuff. Man, let's get into this. The last time UPS workers went on strike was 1997. FedEx and Postal Services scrambled to pick up the slack as the nation's largest package delivery company slowed to a near standstill. Small businesses struggled to restock their shelves, and hospitals had a hard time securing supplies, according to the New York Times reporting at the time. So it just lets you know how integral UPS is. Like this country, right? UPS moves the country, all the packages and everything. Come on now, y'all ain't number brown trucks moving around on these streets. Y'all see the UPS workers out here busting their butts every single day. Yo, it's hot down here in Florida, y'all. It's hot. It's during the wintertime, it's hot. During the summertime, it's crazy hot. Ain't no AC in them UPS trucks. You see these people wearing their brown uniforms, sweating, constantly drinking water. It's a rough gig. It's a rough gig. But think about the places where it snows. And they got to go fight through blizzards and all that stuff just to get you your Amazon, whatever it is you ordering. You know what I mean? And more importantly, to get much needed supplies to hospitals, much needed supplies to laboratories and stuff like that, so they can do their research and make life better for everybody. Much needed supplies to law enforcement, much needed supplies to fire departments and stuff like that. Right? That UPS is moving all this stuff, man. So consumers could face that and more if the Teamsters Union and management cannot reach a new contract deal by the end of the month. So we coming up on a couple weeks, y'all. It's a little over, got about a little more than 2 weeks before we get to, till we get to it. If a strike does occur, it will be very disruptive, said Jason Miller, interim chairperson for the Department of Supply Chain Management at Michigan State University. The consumer is going to be much more affected getting just everyday products that they would buy online. So we live in an era now where people don't like going to the stores. I'm one of those people, man. I don't like going out I don't want to go to the store. I don't want to go to the store. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with traffic. I don't want to deal with the knuckleheads inside the store. I don't want to deal with, the employees trying to force me to use self-checkout. Y'all know I don't use self-checkout. I have left carts full of merchandise right there. I'm not using self-checkout. I'll be damned if I come home and have the police come knocking on my door talking about I didn't pay for something. No, right? No. I'm not using self-checkout. I know here in Florida at Target, they don't open. It's only self-checkout up until a certain time. They don't open, worker-assisted checkout until after, I think, 10 a.m. or something like that. So if you're in there before 10 a.m., you must use the self-checkout. Man, I don't do that. And there's a lot of people who they love it. I want to use self-checkout. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. If there's a problem with that system, I want to be able to point right across the register that your employee did that. Don't get mad at me because they scanned the wrong thing and they didn't charge me the proper price for whatever device I was buying or whatever I was doing. If I bought a phone, I come out of there, I bought an iPhone and they charged me $10 for the iPhone and it was a mistake. No, I paid $10. They gave it to me. Mistakes on y'all, Jack. Eat that. But if I do it at the self-checkout, they're going to try to charge me with a felony. No, no, you're not getting me like that, Jack. JT in the building, what's good, man? I see you, bro. Appreciate you checking in on me, man. I see you. I hope all is well up there in Detroit, man. I'm pretty sure y'all warming up. I'm pretty sure y'all warming up, bro. The winter should be done. So, the article goes on, and this is USA Today. What will happen if UPS goes on strike? While in 1997, strike threw a wrench in the supply chain, a 2023 stoppage could have an even greater effect on consumers now that the U.S. economy is even more reliant on e-commerce. Facts. Like I said, I don't go to the store, man. I go to Amazon in a heartbeat, bro. Amazon, when I buy football jerseys, when I buy my Bengals gear, right? How about them Bengals? UPS brings it to the door, man. Right? I go to NFL.com or whatever, order whatever I'm going to order, or Fandom or whatever it's called. I forget what it is. Order what I'm going to order, and they'll send it via UPS. Once they send it by some other run-of-the-mill company and they took my jerseys to somebody else's house, them jerseys are gone. Them jerseys are gone. Went to someone else on the property. I saw the delivery guy too. He went to the wrong building. I called him up like, hey, man, what's going on? And the next day, UPS showed up at my door, knocking on the door, and I signed for my jerseys. They didn't even charge me. Shout out to them. You know what I mean? But this is how we shop now. 20, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, I'd have been straight down to the store, to the sporting goods store, trying to get my jersey or whatever, even ordering from the store, and they would have to, come back to the store to pick up my jersey. We ain't doing that no more. So FedEx, UPS, even the U.S. Postal Service, and all these other new startup companies, it's all about delivery. That's what e-commerce is about right now. Census data shows that less than 1% of total retail trade sales come from e-commerce in 1999. The first year the data was reported. At the beginning of this year, it was 15%. Right, it's a 14% increase from 1999 to today to 2023. Wow, 14% increase and growing. Who wants to deal with the crowds around the holidays, right? Who wants to deal with that, man? Plus, you get the better deals. The Cyber Thursday, is it? Cyber Thursday deals or whatever it is. Cyber Monday, I forget what it is. Wait, Thanksgiving is on Thursday, so it must be Cyber Monday. Hey, bro, it's crazy. The Teamsters Union has also grown since its last work stoppage, from about 185,000 members to 340,000 members. If a strike does take place, it will be the largest single employer strike in history. Bro, that shuts it all down, man. 185,000 Teamsters in the late 1990s to 340,000 Teamsters today. That's a lot. That's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. And for people who sit back and think that's not going to affect them, man, you high. It's going to affect every single body. I mean, just kind of looking at this, man, these numbers are crazy. That's going to affect everybody. And again, if this were to happen, if this strike does occur, best believe the White House is going to speak on this. Best believe the White House is going to be applying pressure, either to management or to the union. Joe Biden has already shown his willingness to jump in. What he did with the rail workers, he's shown his willingness to jump in, and he ain't got a problem with screwing over unions. He ain't got a problem with it. So maybe management is taking that into consideration. Like, well, we do this and it cause enough pain. The president's going to come in and shut this down and force the union to go back to work. I wonder if that will be a thing. I'm gonna have to find some union folks, man. I'm gonna have to holler at some Teamsters, see if I can get somebody to come on here and have this discussion. Even a short-lived strike could have huge consequences for consumers, according to Terry Asper, a logistics professor at The Ohio State University. They have a large network, he said, of UPS, which delivers nearly 25 million packages daily and about a quarter of all U.S. parcel volume. Right? 25 million packages a day. Wow. Taking that kind of capacity out of the market, even for a day, will have significant ripple effects. Absolutely. Absolutely. We saw what happened with the chip shortage, right, with vehicles during the pandemic and after. And you saw what happened to the prices of vehicles and all that. You saw what people can do when they have a convenient excuse. Prices are gonna go way up. There are news out there now that says, inflation has come down. Inflation isn't as bad as they thought it was going to be. So, Wall Street have a lot of good news out here and all this. But if corporations if they have a convenient excuse to raise prices, they're gonna do it. This will be a tragedy, man. And no corporation never lets a good tragedy go, untapped. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna go out there and they're going to make money off of it. So, man, oh man, this, here's what consumers can expect during the strike, according to the experts. And it kind of gets into it. Slower delivery times, longer wait times will be expected during a strike as shipping carriers like FedEx and the United States Postal Service deal with an influx of packages from UPS customers. Esper said that would be especially noticeable in rural areas among smaller retailers, which may rely more heavily on UPS as a delivery service provider. So, of course, you're going to have, UPS goes on strike. You're going to have slower delivery times, which means if you want a guaranteed next day or whatever, you're going to have to pay way more money. If you want to get 3-day and all that, you're going to have to pay way more money. And just to get regular delivery service, you're going to be paying more. You're going to be paying more. And everyone's going to be like, it's priority. It's priority. I got to have this piggy bank tomorrow. So what do we need to do to make this happen? Well, you pay us another $40 and we'll get it there. We'll guarantee you get it in 3 days. If you want it there tomorrow, we're going to need another $200. That's what's going to happen. Why wouldn't FedEx take advantage? Why wouldn't the U.S. Postal Service take advantage? Why wouldn't all these other places, these small upstart companies take advantage? They're going to do it. They're going to take full advantage of the situation. FedEx last week said it will prioritize existing customers amid any industry disruptions, which means UPS customers switching over may have a harder time getting packages sent through quickly, right? Unless you pay. We might be looking at 3 to 5 days of longer delivery lead times in certain areas as other carriers try to handle the additional capacity. He said it's really a matter of how long this will last. If it does happen and where consumers are in the market. Oh, if it does happen and where consumers are in the market. So yeah, if you're in the middle of nowhere, bro, you through. You in Wyoming somewhere, man, you in the Dakota somewhere out in the sticks, man, they ain't thinking about you. Which sucks, especially if you're if you're in a hospital, if you're the only doctor for 100 miles or something like that. And I'm pretty sure they'll take that in consideration. Hey, this is a doctor. This is a rural doctor. This clinic needs to get this stuff, but it's still going to be longer than normal. It's going to be to a point where you're going to have to figure out ways to go get it yourself. Like, all right, well, can y'all get it to this point over here and I'll just drive and go pick it up myself. If the strike were to happen, you're going to be seeing stuff like that. Big box retailers are expected to weather the impacts of UPS strike more easily since they use a diverse mix of delivery service providers, according to Esper. And that makes sense. They got money. You're going to use everybody. Why? Because something like this might happen. You're going to use everybody. It's like, all right, well, UPS goes down. I still got FedEx. I still got whatever. I don't even know the other carriers out there, right? We still got other, all these other places that we can source from to get our products. Supply chain disruptions. This is the big one right here, man. Supply chain disruptions. This is going to be the reason why people can just raise prices on everything if this strike were to happen. Miller said sparse parts for motor vehicles, which rely on shipments from wholesalers and dealerships, may be harder to get if there's a strike. The healthcare supply chain could also take a hit since the wholesale companies that manufacture medical devices and supplies heavily rely on companies like UPS. That's scary too, man. Just imagine you're sick, or someone in your family is sick, or they need something. They need something, and they need this thing. A new pacemaker or whatever. Their hip went out. They got to get another hip replacement, and they're all ready to go, and they're just waiting on a part. Like, we can't schedule the surgery until we get this part, and they're telling us it's going to be 3 weeks because there's a strike. I mean, could you imagine the amount of stress you got to deal with when something like that happens? I mean, it's one thing. All right, you can't get the latest game for Xbox or PSP or whatever. All right, whatever. It is what it is. But you need meds. Yeah, that's scary right there. When doctors are trying to figure out, okay, well, what other med can we use as a substitute until we get this? Man, it's scary. That's scary. And it continues. Other industries with dealers that rely on getting spare parts from wholesalers via UPS, including farming and construction, could also face supply chain issues. We just went through that. I got friends who were flipping houses during the last, like the supply chain issues for whatever that was, what I mean? Like the residual effects from the pandemic, I guess. Bro, you couldn't get anything, man. You couldn't get any wood. It was hard to get, nails, certain type of nails. It was hard to get batteries to power some of your power tools. It was hard to get stuff, light fixtures. I mean, it was hard to get things. And when you're trying to flip something or you're doing some construction, bro, you can't do anything. You're like, hey, I can't get the copper wire and I need to finish this job. So I'm off to the next thing. That means you done lost your electrician. Who knows you can get him back? I mean, when you're going through that sort of thing, my buddy was just, be checking in with me every other week. I mean, hey man, how's it going, man? What's going on with you? And that's it. The whole conversation was centered around, bro, can't get this, can't get that. So you're trying to get supplies and you're trying to match it with the contractor or whoever that needs the supplies. And it's like, okay, I got the contractor but no supplies, or I got the supplies and no contractor. It's like, bro, he's like, man, I'm already 5 months behind. 5 months behind, and that's money. And think about that. He was 5 months behind with an economy moving in such a way that the interest rates were starting to, instead of going down, they started creeping up. So it's like, man, we're 5 months behind. If he had the stuff that he needed, he would have made more money when it was time for the sale. Right? He'd have been good. He would have made more money because his timetable was solid. He did his homework. His timetable was solid. No one anticipated a supply chain crunch. And it was like, bam, and it took, 5 months to get through that, bro. So how much money did he lose? $10,000, $20,000, $50,000? Because the people who wanted the house can't afford it now because the interest rates went up 2 or 3, 4 or 5 basis points or whatever. That's a huge thing. I mean, eventually he was okay. It worked out for him. But he's like, bro, probably lost money. So supply chain issues, y'all, that's going to be a lot of money. People are going to have to pay more money, whether or not it's true. You don't even know what they're sitting on. Maybe they can't get it to you, but they're going to just charge you more to get it to you because they can. That's crazy. Consumers are not only going to be affected by stuff not showing up at their houses. Miller said it would be a new shock to the supply chain system that has largely reverted to pre-COVID levels. So just when everything was getting back to normal, bam, this happens. And I'm not mad at the Teamsters. I'm not mad at the Teamsters. They are not wrong for wanting to get fair compensation and time off, and they're not wrong for wanting better work conditions. When you get into what they're trying to get, man, you'll see what I'm talking about. And when you look at UPS and FedEx, they're making record profits, right? And it's the union is fighting tooth and nail to get more employees in, to get better health coverage, to get guaranteed time off. Allegedly, like the union was trying to get air conditioning units installed in the vehicles. Like I said before, man, driving around in Florida, man, it's hot down here, man. They don't have AC. So management was like, no, we're not going to put air conditioning in there, but we're going to put cameras. We're going to install a camera system in every truck so management can actually watch the drivers as they're driving around making deliveries to see who's working hard and who's not working hard. And they're like, oh, we'll give you guys some fans. We'll put some little bitty fans in there. Oh, you just gonna fan around this hot air? Like that's gonna make a difference? Man, stop it. They refuse to put AC in there, but they'll put cameras in the cab so they can see what the employees are doing. This is just one of many issues that they're trying to hammer out. And this is why they're going to want to go on strike. And that makes sense. I would want to strike too. Like, come on now. They want to impose these work rules on the drivers. We're talking about the drivers, especially on how much time they get from A to B. And the computer plots say this, but your actual times are that. And they want computers to be on board so they can just basically watch you and maybe harass you a little bit. Man, I'll be fighting that too. I would be fighting that too, tooth and nail, right? So higher shipping costs. Yeah, like we were saying, that's definitely going to happen. A strike could also raise the cost of shipping, even if delivery companies don't increase their rates amid the stoppage. UPS customers may need to turn to higher price alternatives for competitors or from competitors, or pay for expedited shipping amid lengthening delivery times. Facts. Don 007's in that building. What's good, fam? WAG on strike 2 now. WAG. Yo, brother Don, you talking about the Writers Guild, WGA, on strike now? Because they are. Or is that a union I don't know about? Because we have a lot of acronyms in unions, and I don't know all of them. So let me know who WAG is, bro. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a typo and it's supposed to be the Writers Guild of America, WGA. But if it's WAG on strike too now, let me know who they are, bro. You know what I mean? And in your part of the country, man, that's where, union's probably strongest. So, put me on game, bro. It's probably something I don't know. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. So like we said already, man, yeah, it only makes sense. Of course, it's going to be higher cost to the consumer out here. I mean, and like I said, and Brother John was like, yep, Hollywood. Yeah, bro. Yeah, we started off with that, man. So you got the Writers Guild and SAG. So the actors and the writers are, the writers are already on strike, and it looks like the actors are about to strike. So, and again, like it is what it is. Hollywood's been making garbage anyway, so it's not gonna be hard for me not to watch. But I do support the strike. But yes, of course, it's gonna be higher cost though. When getting back to this, getting back to UPS, it's definitely gonna be higher cost. Right. And like I said, just the mere news, the day that UPS say, okay, we're going on strike at midnight on this day. Right. So if it's like midnight on August 1st, we're going on strike, all the prices are going to just jump. All the prices are going to jump. That's before you even see the effects, right? Because they're like, oh, until then, we're still doing deliveries. All the prices are going to jump. Right? It may not be an immediate change in price, but it is maybe leaning into some direct payments for more expedited shipping in order to support the delivery of really important and key things like medications, right? And we talked about that as well. This only makes sense. This only makes sense, and it's a way to make money. You know what I mean? Brother Cody's like Film Actors Guild, the Screen Actors Guild, SAG, Screen Actors Guild of America, and then ASTRA. I don't know what ASTRA stands for, but they're under SAG now. And then WGA is the Writers Guild of America. Yeah, bro. Again, Hollywood, they doing what they got to do, but man, they just putting out garbage, man. I wish they would just make better movies and it'd be easier to support them. I think most Americans are just going to blow it off. They're not even going to care. Like I said, it's going to be a huge opportunity for YouTube content creators, people with money. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it is what it is. But yeah, that was the beginning, yo. Team Replay, go back and watch the beginning and see we were talking about that at length. What's going on in Hollywood? But again, y'all know I'm union. I'm union over here, so I'm going to support both. Brother Mandrell's in the house. What's good, bro? Brother Mandrell's in the house, man. And this one's for Brother Cody. I forgot to show him love. There you go, Brother Cody is king in the house as well. So we know that these prices are going to go up. Americans know what's about to happen, bro. We know it. Hey, y'all, for real, serious talk. If there's something you've been thinking about getting, there's something that may be critical. Like, let's say, for instance, that I wanted to get some equipment, right? Let's say, like, all right, I got this big shoot coming up. I need these microphones. I would order them right now. If it's something that you think you might need within the next 30 days, get it right now. Just get ahead of it. Get it now if you can. I know a lot of people can't, but if you can, get it now. Because once the strike starts, who knows how long it's going to last. If the strike starts. If I were management, I would definitely be trying to work with the Teamsters and avoid the strike. So what can consumers do? Miller said consumers who are planning to shop online should do it now. Bam, that's what I just said, especially if they know the product is being shipped by UPS. If you do need to shop online during the strike, shop in larger batch quantities. Shopping in larger batch quantities can help you avoid delivery lags. Oh, I guess so the more stuff you get, the better your chances of it getting there faster. I didn't think about that. Buying from companies that don't rely on UPS can also help cut down wait times. Wow. Other shoppers should consider shopping in person or ordering pickup to avoid delayed deliveries. A feat that should be easier to accomplish amid the warmer summer months. A blessing in disguise is the fact that it is summer. A supply chain and other operations per professor at that's who that person is. We can go out and do our shopping and have that shopping experience. You see, there's a lot of people trying to get you to go outside, bro. It's a lot of people trying to get you to go outside, man. Listen, people like, oh, we could go outside and go shopping. Down here in Florida, especially with the new concealed carry laws, man. Oh man, I'm trying not to really, I'll be at open mics and stuff like that. I'll be, at places that aren't bars, like that don't have alcohol. Like I'm always compliant, but bro, if I'm around weird people, best believe I'm armed. Like, best believe it. Because I'm just convinced that they are. And it's so easy. You just go grab a pistol and shove it in your pants and go walk outside. It's legal. Like, it's legal. It's like, oh no. Oh no. I don't know if they thought that through. But that's one of DeSantis's things. He pushed that through, bro. We'll see. But they say armed society is a polite society. We'll just have to watch the news and see how it plays out. It's summertime, people are out. I mean, we're not going to turn this into a gun talk, but I know for a fact it doesn't matter what the law state. If people going to go out there and do some knucklehead stuff, they're going to do knucklehead stuff, bro, no matter what the law states. In fact, this thing that DeSantis did actually protects the average American, at least gives the average American here in Florida an opportunity to protect themselves. So I just wish that there was a training requirement attached to it. I'm not excited to know or happy to know that, the idiot next to me might be armed. Like, dude can barely walk and chew gum at the same time, but he has a pistol. But hey, man, America, I love it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm all in. So those are the two strikes that are upcoming. We already know that the Writers Guild of America is on strike, currently walking the picket line. SAG is going to join them. It looks like real soon, probably tomorrow. Actually, the SAG actors have been out there just supporting the brothers and sisters with the Writers Guild of America. They've already been picketing, but now they're actually going to walk. So they're going to walk away, which means, like I said, when you go on strike, you're not getting paid. So, going on strike is no easy undertaking. I mean, you got to think about it. Your livelihood is at stake. Seriously, like, you're not getting any money, right? The money you get from the strike fund or whatever, it's not your regular pay. So, especially in a place like Southern California where things are already expensive, I mean, that's very, very brave of them to actually go on strike. I think they're going to be walking for a while. There's management in that situation. There's no incentive for management to give at this point to the actors and to the writers. But again, California moves on that Hollywood money. California moves on that. So it's just a matter of time before Governor Newsom gets involved, because it's going to hurt the rest of the state. And California is already suffering. So let's keep your eyes on that, y'all. Definitely keep your eyes on that. And this UPS thing, that one there, that's a little, that one there is a little scary. This UPS thing is everyone is going to be involved in that. Everyone is going to be affected, right? Everyone's going to be affected with this UPS thing. Everyone. So I don't know about that, bro. Like, that one, please, y'all out there listening to me, if you can hear my voice, man, start planning now. If you need stuff, go ahead and get it now. Go ahead and stock up on as much as you can. Non-perishable, of course. I get it. If it's stuff that's just, they don't keep, it is what it is. But if you need some stuff, or you thinking about getting some stuff, you might want to get it right now, y'all. You might want to get it right now, as opposed to waiting. Right. So, okay, it is what it is. I knew the strike was coming. I've heard this, this stuff about UPS for a while now. It's been at least a month. They've been talking about this. So it lets you know how long this has been going on. Like, this ain't, this is, brand new. Like, nah, bro, they've been talking about this for a minute. So, and most strikes are like that, man. People aren't, people don't just want to run out there and risk their jobs. People don't want to run out there and not get paid. These are important issues. I make light of the writers and the actors in Hollywood, but they still have important issues, right? Hollywood is still making money. They make billions. So you have to fight for yours. If you're at the bottom, you're in the bottom 90, you're in the bottom 99, you got to fight for every dime you get. And how do you do that? You organize and you have a seat at the table. Otherwise, you get what they throw you. Whatever scraps they give you, you take it. But if you sit down and you organize, there's definitely strength in numbers. And it's like, well, we ain't doing nothing then. Ain't nobody making no money. Y'all ain't making no money and we ain't making no money. How about that? And that's what's going on. But like I said, AI, Hollywood needs to, they need to tell better stories, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like, man, with the garbage these people putting out, these dumbass stories, I would like to see what AI, what story AI. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go on ChatGPT later and ask AI to tell me a story. And I'm gonna give it parameters and I'm gonna see what kind of story it tells me. I'm gonna do that. I challenge y'all to do the same thing, man. See how good AI is at telling stories. Man, but come on, man, you union. I'm just saying. Maybe step it up. Maybe Hollywood needs to go with the more talented writers instead of hiring these people that they hire just because, for whatever reason. Maybe go with the more talented writers. But that UPS thing though, yeah, that's gonna be a problem, y'all. That's gonna be a problem. UPS ain't no joke. I saw y'all know I love Breaking Points. Breaking Points covered this as well. I was this close to showing y'all a clip from Breaking Points, but I'm not going to. But Sager was talking about this, and he was talking about the last time a strike of this magnitude happened in Hollywood. And it was a long, long time ago. In fact, the president of the union at that time, this is the last time the writers and the actors were on strike together, effectively shutting down Hollywood. The president of the union, the president of SAG, was Ronald Reagan. That's right. Ronald Reagan was an actor. Very political, very active. President of SAG, went on strike. And apparently they were successful, right? This is the same Ronald Reagan who, like some 30, 40 years after that, fired the air traffic controllers who went on strike. He broke PATCO. He broke that union. He fired the air traffic controllers who went on strike. The very same Reagan. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? So, hey, y'all, it is what it is. I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. I will be back probably later on today or maybe tonight. I want to talk about Threads on I Really Want to Know podcast. Threads is the new competition for Twitter. Instagram have come up with their own Twitter-esque platform. And apparently they're doing really well. Just in the past 48 hours, somewhere north of 100 million users. I think I want to talk about that tonight. I'll talk about that on I Really Want to Know, because I know what's going on. I know in theory, but I kind of want to delve into that a little bit. Yeah, it might be a good conversation, y'all. I think I'm gonna do that. And if I do, if I don't do it tonight, I'll do it tomorrow. But whatever day, if I do it tonight or tomorrow, I'm gonna be dropping a link on that one, y'all, on Threads, because I want to hear what y'all have to say about that. Who's joined it? Has anyone, joined Threads, or people active on Threads? What's the difference? I know that Breaking Points has covered it. We'll probably react to what they were saying about it. Threads versus Twitter, what's that going to look like moving forward? These are two juggernauts going at it. Instagram, coming at, you got Zuckerberg coming in here going right at Elon Musk, and, head to head. And it looks good for Threads, in the short term, but what's it going to look like in the long term? I don't know. We're going to talk about that probably tonight. I'm waiting on a call. I might be going to do a little bit of stand-up down at Sunshine City Comedy Club, St. Pete Beach. Shout out to Kenny. I might be going down there tonight. Definitely going to the Improv to do a little bit, do some networking, get in there and do a little bit. That's going to be tonight as well. So you know what? Realistically speaking, it'll be tomorrow. I Really Want to Know podcast. We're going to talk about Threads versus Twitter and what that means and what's going on with that. Thanks for rocking out with me, y'all. Appreciate y'all. I know it's still summertime and I just come up whenever, all over the place. A lot of folks are telling me that the notification bell for this platform isn't working. They're not getting notified. So I would say maybe unsubscribe and then subscribe again, like unsubscribe and then go and click again and then click the bell again. Maybe that'll help. Brother Tez was like, nope, just get people to like the video. So I'm like, all right, y'all will like the video. So let's get it pushed in the algo. So you guys could get the notifications when I jump on, because I won't be back into a hard schedule until school starts. Once my daughter is back in school, then she's home, and then I'll be back to that hard schedule while I'm, going on probably every day at 6, and then on the weekends probably at 3 or something like that. So until then, I'm all over the place, man. So don't even ask me when I'm gonna go live, because I don't know. Shout out to everybody on Instagram who've been showing me love. I've started doing stories and all that kind of stuff. I'm getting more active on Instagram, and eventually we're going to begin to simulcast on Instagram as well as on YouTube. So, like I said, y'all, slowly but surely, gonna be Instagram and then Facebook. Right? Gonna be Instagram, Facebook, and then Twitter. And it's gonna be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then probably Threads. So this is my plan of attack. This is what I'm doing. So far, so good. That's the mission's going so far, so good. So thanks for rocking out with me, everybody. Brother man, Gerald Cody is king. Brother Don 007 in the house. JT, man. Brother Tez, Nightish. Thank y'all all, bros, for helping out, supporting a brother, being there for me, man. I truly, truly appreciate it. And I know Wonderful 34 in here, but thank him as well. Wonderful 34 is always hitting up the Cash App, man. Always showing support, man. I truly, truly appreciate it. Thank y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. I'm Don Lewis. This is the Downrange Podcast. I'm out of here. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.